Let's get to your top story. That's protests that continue as far as Kolkata doctors' rape and murder case is concerned. The CBI questioned the principal for the fourth consecutive day, and now it's the CBI veterans of the Hathras and Unnao cases that have now taken charge of the Kolkata rape and murder case. His financial transaction, as far as the former principal is concerned, that is now being looked into. As far as his tenure goes of the former principal, Sandeep Ghosh, he will now be looked into following allegations of irregularities. An order from the West Bengal government said a special investigation team has been formed to conduct the probe. Now, that report will be submitted in a month from now. While it is West Bengal's governor who has reached Delhi, he was here from last night, and speculations are that he might be meeting with the president of the country, Draupadi Murmu, and that meeting is expected as early as 10 o'clock this morning. There have been massive protests, and now it is, in fact, the governor there who did visit the hospital and spoke with the agitating junior doctors, assuring them of justice. And now he is here in the national capital to take up the situation as far as the Kolkata investigation is concerned into the rape and murder of the trainee doctor. Now, amid the ongoing investigation protests following the rape and murder, the mother-in-law of the accused of Sanjay Roy, do remember that there's only one person who has been arrested in the case so far, has suggested, the mother-in-law has gone on to say that there seems to be an involvement of more people in the crime, as she says that Roy could not have done it alone. Meanwhile, politics is playing out as far as the TMC and the BJP is concerned, with both sides attacking each other. Given the situation on the ground, it is the BJP demanding the resignation of the Chief Minister. We have my colleague Saurabh Gupta and Sunil Prabhu joining us for more on this. Sunil, over to you first. In regard to the Supreme Court, the Supreme Court on its own has taken up the rape and murder case of the Kolkata doctor that has shocked the country and thrown the medical fraternity in a turmoil. So this is going to be heard and it is going to be led by the Chief Justice of India. What time is this suo motu plea coming up?
When the court resumes after its long break, we will definitely see the Chief Justice of India and his entire bench try to address this issue and hopefully bring in some kind of clarity, because we've heard the High Court, we've heard the Chief Minister, we've seen the CBI, we've seen the politics over it. But I think the court, taking suo motu cognizance of this entire incident, will try to ensure that speedy justice facilities in government hospitals as we saw this unfortunate incident take place.
Right. We also have Tanushka joining us. Saurabh, over to you for now. From what we know is that the governor of West Bengal is in the national capital and he's expected to be meeting with the president. Saurabh, if you can hear me, we are expecting the governor of West Bengal to be meeting with the president. We do know that he has been in Delhi since late last night. And also when we talk about, in terms of the case per se, get us what really is the stage at which the investigations at. Now we do know that the veterans who handled the Unnao and the Hathras case have been involved in the investigation.
Well, yes, the veterans who handled those cases, we have taken over the investigation. But the political point here that the Trinamool Congress is making is that the CBI has not shared an update on what progress it has made in these few days. Contrasting it, saying that the Kolkata police provided regular updates on the investigation and alleging that usually when investigations go to the CBI, they become slow, tardy and don't reach the conclusion, pointing to several such investigations in the past. However, having said that, the CBI is of course trying to get the processes and formalities settled for the polygraph test, for which it has got permission. The polygraph test is also popularly known as the lie detector test. It's another tool in the hands of investigating agencies to arrive at the truth, and in this case that is so important given the amount of misinformation, fake news and absolutely wrong information is being peddled on social media, often quoting, things like the post-mortem report, while the post-mortem report actually says something very different. And several of these fake news, in pieces have also been busted. But the ruling Trinamool in West Bengal says that, look, the CBI investigation is not moving. We had said we'd finish the investigation by, by Sunday, but that is this case was transferred to the CBI. In anyways, we are likely to get an update today because the case will come up in the Supreme Court, and once the Supreme Court hears the case, there will, of course, be ground and be reason for the CBI to tell the court what it has done in the few days and what it plans to do in the next few days. And one of the things that doctors have been also asking is, give us a timeline. Don't keep it open-ended so that it goes on and on and on like we've seen in the past cases, because that, they also say, is not justice. So they want a timeline that you will finish the probe and, catch the accused within a specified time frame. Agencies sometimes, avoid the accountability of adhering to a time frame in investigations, saying that investigations are not, something that can be a timetable bound thing. While that is true, there is, of course, enough demands in this case to press for a timeline. And also there's a lot of politics around it, because the Trinamool is saying the BJP is exploiting the situation. The BJP is saying that, look, this is a horrible crime. And of course, as a political party, we will come out on the streets and protest. But it's not just us. There are a lot of citizens who are protesting as well. And the citizens are indeed protesting. There is a lot of anger on this case, especially in the manner in which the hospital administration, not so much the police, but the hospital administration handled this case, initially informing the parents that it was a case of suicide. That is something that has also led to a lot of suspicion, which is why the former principal of RG Kar Medical College and Hospital, Sandeep Ghosh, has been questioned by the CBI for 4 consecutive days. He's also likely to be summoned for questioning today. Meanwhile, the state government, taking note of the allegations against the former principal, has also set up a special investigating team led by an IPS officer and other 3 IPS officers who will submit their report within 1 month of the constitution of the team and to the state government, and look into the financial irregularities, allegations that have been made at the RG Kar Medical College and Hospital from 2021 till now. So a lot of things have happened. There is also an ABVP protest, the Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad protest, a Shastra Bhavan Chalo protest today. That is likely also to be stopped by the police, and there's likely to be some trouble there as well. But otherwise, this has, of course, become a huge political issue, with the BJP and the Trinamool accusing each other. The Trinamool saying the BJP is exploiting the situation, fanning anger, and also the CBI not doing, providing updates is allowing the BJP ground to do so, demanding, a timeline from the CBI. In fact, yesterday, Trinamool spokesperson Kunal Ghosh also said that, once you have the next court date, why can't you say that we will finish the investigation and file a charge sheet within that date? The Trinamool Congress is also demanding capital punishment. The Trinamool Congress also, the government of West Bengal, as it runs the government of West Bengal, has come up with a scheme called Ratire Shathi for protection of doctors and others who work at night, or have long hours, or bad work timings, or irregular work timings because of the nature of the emergency work that they are involved in, like doctors, etc. So all of this is being looked at, but of course today, all eyes are really on that Supreme Court hearing.
Right. Also, Saurabh, take us through the demands that are being made by FORDA.
Well, I don't have that information, but I think some of the demands that doctors' associations have made are pretty similar. And one of those things is, of course, security and safety of doctors. They may have articulated in different ways, this particular organization versus other organizations, or even the students of RG Kar. In fact, the focus should also really be on the students of RG Kar who've actually lost their colleague. And the RG Kar students have very clearly said that they need more security, because there are 2 examples. One is, of course, this horrific rape and murder that took place on campus. The second, of course, is the vandalism that took place a few days later, with a clear intention to destroy the crime scene. And therefore, there is, as you can see, and the police there were, not able to prevent that vandalism. Even after this incident, the police admitted to an assessment failure on their part. But having said that, the students of Arjikor are also demanding safety and security. There's a demand for a central law because a lot of times what happens is patient parties assault doctors. As a doctor's son, I can tell you that there is a lot of stress amongst doctors, and that is something that perhaps there needs to be a new law, and many have demanded a central law to deal with these issues of safety and security of doctors, female doctors at the workplace. But this has also become a larger issue of generally women's safety, because this is just about a woman also who was at her workplace believed to be secure. Her parents thought that once she was in her workplace she would be secure, but unfortunately she was brutally raped and murdered by someone who could walk into the campus and walk out. So that is something that has upset and disturbed many, until they have concrete assurances which the state government said it has tried to provide, but till they are absolutely convinced, these doctors' protests are also likely to continue.
Right, of course, that is one of the demand by FODA is the Vishaka guidelines to prevent sexual harassment at workplaces that are not being adhered to. And of course, the demands that are being made as far as FODA is concerned, that the top court issue a guideline in light of the current guidelines, and this is in respect with health professionals, and also the petition has demanded that a 3-judge committee should overlook the CBI probe. This is in regard to the demands that's been made in order for, there should be security. Central forces should be deployed to protect the staff as far as the RG Kar Medical College and Hospital is concerned till the probe is completed. So those are some of the demands that are being made. And of course, like, Saurabh was pointing out, a lie detector test will now be conducted, and the court has given its nod for that. We have Tanushka joining us. Tanushka, when we talk about the health ministry, are there any changes that we're seeing on the ground? Has there been further deployment as far as security is concerned in government hospitals, in private hospitals? Are we seeing some sort of a change?
As of the notices that have been issued by the AIIMS Delhi RDA, just that they've addressed the fact that the ministry has looked into their security demands, and there have been more deployment of security personnel at their hospital premises. However, this is just a statement from the AIIMS Resident Doctors Association in Delhi. This is not the case across board as of now yet. And while all the other, RDAs, independent state RDAs, and as well as the Federation of Resident Doctors Association continue to protest and halt services, elective services, until all of their demands are met. And the demands not just, constrain or stop and start at safety infrastructure measures for hospitals and for the medical staff, especially for women, but necessarily beginning with demand for justice for the brutal rape and murder case at RG Kar Medical Hospital. Since the past few days, of course, security is amped up at RG Kar Medical Hospital because of the case, and also because of the mob vandalism that happened on 14th of August at night. And what we also know is that taking into view of these safety concerns, it's not just, the derby match was cancelled, and not just that, but also Section 163 of the Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita has been imposed around the periphery of the hospital, which means that people are not allowed to protest or rally in front of the hospital. However, in other areas of the entire city, protests are permitted. Protests are going on every single day. Yesterday, even in Kolkata, there were, groups as well as political parties that, showed solidarity to the case and to the cause by celebrating Rakhi as a black day. So these are some major things that are happening around the city in Kolkata as well. The sentiment of people is that of anger while protests continue. And at the backdrop of the protests, of course, the investigation is also taking new turns now, with the polygraph test to happen today, with the Supreme Court taking suo motu cognizance of the case. The hearing will begin shortly today. And also the fact that Kolkata police has been set up with a special investigation team to look into the case themselves as well. So parallel investigations will also go on now with this SIT probe, as well as the CBI investigating not just the crime scene but also calling in for questioning the former principal of the college, Sandeep Ghosh. He's been called in for interrogation at 4 days at a stretch and is likely to be called in today as well.
Right.